Okay, cool. Okay. Let me unfreeze. Okay, last call for attendance. I will show this at the end again, but just to be sure. Okay, before we start, if you guys have never seen me before, if you weren't here for welcome tea, hi, my name is Cliff, Cliff Coast. Some people call me Cliffany for short. I'm a year 4 CS. I specialize in game development and graphics. So I also take a little bit of parallel computing just because I'm interested in optimizing graphics and shaders, but that's not really something I teach because I'm not that good at it. Yeah. I'm also taking a minor in Japanese studies, so I'm currently taking JAP6 module, and next December I'm planning to take JLPT N2, which is the minimum requirement for Japanese citizenship or work pass. So if you weren't here for welcome tea, the reason I'm taking Japanese is because I love Atlas, the company, and Square Enix. I love their games, and I hope I get a chance to work there maybe before I die at least once. So that's kind of my motivation to study Japanese. From just as an NUS student to another NUS student, my personal recommendation is to take any language mod. I think all of the language mods in NUS are very well taught. Workload is depends on the mod. Japanese tends to be pretty high. You have to do recordings, you have to do memorization of kanji. Their motivation or objective is you have to memorize like 5,000 kanji by the end, because apparently that is like elementary school level. So take at your own risk. But if you want, I think French and Korea, I heard from my friends, are pretty chill. For good reviews for French, my friend went in and came out with a girlfriend. So you can take it as you will. Yeah. So I'll be teaching pixel art here today. Who here is at the wrong class and is not here for pixel art? Feel free to stay, just scan my attendance, I don't care. Okay. So first of all, welcome to GDG. Let me check, I'm recording. Okay, good. Okay, welcome to NUS GDG. We make games. Anything related to game development, we will talk about it. Usually, at this time of the year, we usually don't start with pixel art. So, for example, last year I started with game design talks instead. But because in week 4, Prof. Alex will be teaching game design, I didn't really want to repeat what he's gonna say. So I'm starting with pixel art first, and I think a lot of people here actually already have experience making a game. So who here has coded a game before, or like kind of dabbled in game development? Okay, cool. Okay, cool, very good. Who here has never touched game development before, but you're just here to learn pixel art or just art in general? Okay, that's good too. Okay, yeah, so for this first lesson for pixel art, it's not going to be very game development related. It's going to be a very introductory course to pixel art, something you guys can follow along with, so it'll be a very chill session, don't worry. Next week is kind of like a prerequisite to next week, because next week I want to do a little bit of character design and talk about how pixel art games are a little bit different from your digital art. For pixel art, if you guys realize, okay, let me just go through the slides. Okay, let me introduce myself first. I'm Cliff. This is some of the stuff I've been doing over the years. I don't really want to be a pixel artist. I just kind of do it for fun. So a lot of the reason, or the main reason I study pixel art is because as a game developer, I kind of want to know a little bit more about the requirements for artists. When I work with artists, I tend to feel this halal gap when I talk to them, because I don't really understand what their issues are. So that's kind of why I dabbled in pixel art. Not issues with the person, but their workflow. Okay, their workflow. So I don't really know what's the issue with making game art in general. When I make games, I code games. I don't know what is the timeline or how long it takes to make pixel art, what are the considerations, UI, UX, that kind of thing. I was pretty clueless back then. So I kind of studied a bit more design and I kind of went into pixel art. A bit easier to explain and understand UI, UX, interactions, time flow of games, and I think it kind of helped my team when I'm making my game work a bit better together. So that's kind of my motivation for pixel art. And it's cute. I kind of like pixel art games. So yeah, so these are some of the things I've been doing. And okay. For pixel art in general, all of my slides here you will see are actually 320 by 180 pixels. So it's actually not that big. But the reason why I restricted my slides to be this small, low resolution, is because I just want to prove to you that if you guys want to make good pixel art, you don't have to spend hours long doing 1,000 size pixel canvases. So pixel art looks good when it's small. It's meant to be a restrictive sort of art. Compared to digital art, where a lot of the lines are very free flow and muscle memory, pixel art is usually a type of art where you have 100% control over what you can do. You want to be able to have every pixel be meaningful,
and every empty space be meaningful. So for my slides, I'm making them small just to showcase that you can make things meaningful even if you don't have a lot of space on your screen. And for a lot of games that, okay, for people who are interested in making games, a lot of the times you will realize that taking care of the amount of space you have on your game is important. When you go for playtesting sessions for me, when I made my game, a lot of the feedback I got was a lot of the effects are too focused at a certain area. My players cannot focus on the full game because they're staring at one part of the screen. So for pixel art games, you have very little pixels to work with. How do you maximize where to let people see, what to look at, what to focus on? Today we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Yeah. So first of all, who here has never heard of the term aspect ratio before? Hopefully some sort of intuition as to what it is. It's just a ratio of your computer screen's width to breadth. So for example, your phone screens are also 16:9. Your laptop 16:9, that screen probably 16:9 or 4:3. So the reason why we do 16:9 is simply because that's just how technology kind of evolved. It used to be 4:3. If you think about your old CRT TVs, your brown boxes, those are 4:3, a bit more squarish. But the reason why we transitioned to 16:9 is because of the invention of what we call movies. Movie screens are 16:9, are huge. So they decided, why not have all screens be 16:9 and then all the videos can be played on our platforms. So that's kind of how 16:9 came about. And you will see that the native resolution, what most of your computers will be, is the biggest one, 1920 by 1080. So that is kind of the resolution most of your computers will be run on. But for pixel art, you don't have to start with a 1920 by 1080 canvas. So like I said, my canvas is 320 by 180, but because it has the exact same aspect ratio, everything can scale up perfectly. And even when I draw small on the screen, it will look big when it scales up by an integer factor. So for today, we will be dealing with very small canvas sizes. I would recommend not going above 64 when we do some of the exercise later, but just to show a little bit of scale. So this is, okay, the two characters on the right are mine, but does anyone know what the characters on the left are? Has anyone seen? Celeste? Amazing. Okay, so for those of you who don't know Celeste, I have a screenshot here. Here, Celeste is a pixel art game, 8-bit game, made in Pico 8, I believe. Yeah, so Celeste is one of those games that is actually base resolution of 320 by 180. So it's actually a really small game, and but you guys can play it on your laptops now. Yeah. So for Celeste, even though it's you can play it on your laptop screens or normal resolutions, it's actually fully built and designed to be fit within a 380 by 120 screen. So this is just kind of to illustrate how for pixel art games, at least for games, you don't really have to go that big. For my recommendations, a lot of games nowadays are usually 380 by 120, but you do have some odd numbers here and there. So games like Street Fighter, they'll do some weird ratio like 225 by 1 whatever. It's a weird odd number, but you can leave it to your designers to see what you guys need to do. But for scale, okay, let me go back. So this slide, just for you guys to take in, for pixel art, I think a lot of people don't really have that intuition. The intuition to understand how big can I go, how small can I go. If you guys want to do a very detailed piece of work, how like, okay, let's say you want to draw your favorite character you just seen from an anime. How big must your canvas size be for you to be able to capture all of the details? I think a lot of people intuitively do not understand the common canvas sizes that you would start with. So this is just kind of to illustrate to you that actually if you want to have very detailed expressions, the most common canvas size would be 64 by 64. Anything lower than 64 by 64, you usually do not have enough space for the eyes, and that will be sacrificed in your sprites. So a lot of games that you see where their NPCs or their player models don't have eyes are usually lower than usually 32 by 32 or lower, because you simply don't have the space. So if you are making a game or you are making a icon or a sprite, if you really need expressive faces, go by 64 by 64. Otherwise, you can go lower if you're only interested in the movement of the body, the silhouette. But not to say that it is impossible to be expressive in 32 by 32, but it will be difficult, and it is a very chibi style. So just to illustrate, this is something I drew just to experiment. So 32 by 32 isn't bad, not to say it's bad, but the expressions you have are limited. As you can see, the eyes already take up about 50% of the screen in 32 by 32. So if you guys are planning to do full-on games animations, if you want to do platformers, 32 by 32 is okay because you probably don't need the eyes. But if you are looking for dialogue sprites, you are looking for maybe cutscenes, you might want to think about going a bit higher in resolution. Yeah. So for full-size character, 64 by 64 usually is good enough for most games. If you want even higher resolution, I wouldn't go above 96 because as you can see, at 96, I kind of have a lot of empty space in my canvas already. But it's really up to style. If you are really good at pixel art and you can make it work, then yeah, I'll leave it to you. But for me, my preference, I usually don't go above 64 by 64 because that's kind of the fastest I can go and most efficient I can be if I want to make sprites. Yeah. Okay, so just to illustrate a little bit for Celeste, who here has played Celeste before? Okay, who here has never played Celeste before? Who here has never played but have heard of Celeste before? Who here has never heard about Celeste before? Okay, you are all on out, but don't worry. Okay, I can probably boot out the game for you. I think I have it installed. Celeste. Yay. Okay, so Celeste. Okay, what genre is Celeste? Anybody want to answer? Platformer. Side scroller? It's not a side scroller. Okay, it's a little bit of a side scroller, but yeah. This is Celeste is what? It's a game we call a core platformer. So core platformer is a genre where all of the puzzles in the game can be solved basically just by jumping or landing on certain platforms. So that's what we call core platformer. No attack, no anything. Most of the gameplay will just be landing on things and jumping off of things. So that is a core platformer. Okay, load. Oh shit, I don't remember my controls. Okay, so ignore that. Let me start from. Okay, so as you can see in Celeste, this is what we call a pixel perfect game. Every single pixel is sort of animated, but that's not what I wanted to show. Okay, let me die somewhere. Shut up. I haven't played in a while. Okay. Whoa. Watch out. You haven't seen me at my peak. Okay, but for pixel art, for Celeste, it's a very interesting game. For Celeste, as you can see, I don't know how well I can illustrate it, but if I move my character just a little bit, if I touch the control a little bit, it actually moves exactly 1 pixel. So the character sprite and the ground sprite is perfectly aligned, 1 pixel every single time. I don't know if I can show it very well. So it's a pixel perfect game, what we call pixel perfect. Every pixel matters in this game. It affects the physics of this game. But 16 by 16, if you render it as a full native screen, this is about the character size you get. And I want you to consider why they decided to use such a small character for a game this big. Like you have to use the full screen. And usually for core platformers, the ratio of the character height to the character to the game screen is usually about 10 to 12%. So let me exit out. So if you can see at the bottom right, the Celeste character is 16 pixels in height, and the character, the game screen is 180. So that's about 10%, 9%. And the reason is because of the genre. As a core platformer, you want the player to be able to solve the puzzle by looking at it. So all of the levels are solvable, and you can see the answer to each of the levels without having to play it. You need to be able to path it. So for Celeste, as a core platformer, their main priority was getting all of the necessary parts of the puzzle inside one screen, and any character bigger than 10% usually will block out sort of elements that are important to the game. So all of the platforms here are 8 pixels. Your character height being twice as much as twice the size of a tile makes it so that you can kind of imagine when the character jumps. So where is my game? Okay, let me jump here. Okay, can you guys see? The lowest jump is about 2 pixels. It's about the same height as the character. So you need all of your pixel art to be able to, depending on your game, you need, okay, let's say your game has different mechanics, but just for platformers, we consider only platformers. When the player jumps, you need to be able to let the player know the relative scale of your character for one input. So if the character jumps, does the player know intuitively that if he jumps about 2 tiles high? So usually a second tip for pixel art games is your character sprite and your tile size are about some integer scale, so that when they do any movement, it can kind of be intuitive for the player to understand how much it moves to respect to an input. So when I jump, I know that in my mind, when I press jump, I will jump about 2 tiles high. So that is something that the player will learn, rather than having a random variable for your jump. Imagine I jump one tile, I jump 2 tiles sometimes, 3 tiles sometimes. It's not very easy to solve a puzzle when I don't know how much I can move or how restrained I can move. So for Celeste, their minimum jump is about, I think, 1 tile. If you do a normal jump, it's 2, and if you hold it down, it's about 3 tiles. So just do some sort of integer scale based on your movement. And for your character sprite, usually for pixel art, really depends, but for most platformers, they will put about 2 times to 1 times of your tile size. So your tile is 8 pixels, your character won't go above 16 by 16, something like that. So you guys can, I won't be talking about this today, it's just kind of to prelude to next week where we will examine a bit more games like other genres like fighting games, Street Fighters. Their character sprites are about 45% of the screen, and you guys can probably guess why. You need to be able to read the opponent. So looking at the character is more important than looking at the level. So that's kind of what we will talk about next week when I integrate it a bit more into game design, but today we'll just be doing arts. So yeah, pixel art. It's not like digital art where all of your lines will be smooth looking. So even when I drew a perfect circle, as you can see, you can kind of see jaggedy lines, right? It's not a perfect curve, but that's kind of the best you can do in pixel art. And today I'll be kind of giving you tips and hopefully correct some of the mistakes that I see a lot of beginners do when they do pixel art for the first time. So pixel art, easy. You want to draw a line, it will look smooth. But if you draw a curve, you have to be able to distribute the length of each arc perfectly, otherwise it will look a bit weird. So for straight lines, if you are drawing any kind of straight lines, just make sure that they are consistent in steps. So steps meaning when it goes to the next section of the arc, it is the exact same number of pixels. So for example, on the left side here, on the left side, diagonal straight line. So this is a straight line. I'm just talking about straight lines. So straight lines, just make sure all of them have consistent steps. 1 pixel, 2 pixels, they're all consistent. If you don't, you kind of get this kind of weird feelings. So it will look very rough. But not to say that this is wrong. This is just not a straight line. This is, if you are making, let's say, a curve, or you're making like a cloth, or a machine with bumps and chinks, then yes, the bottom one would be right. But if you want to make a perfectly straight line, please make it consistent. Don't add weird steps. That is for when you are sure that the texture of the material is not straight or not smooth. So if you want to make replicate smoothness in straight lines, just make sure there are integer steps like this. So it's a perfect 1 step by 1 step or 2 step by 2 step, and you can think about it. And if you want to make more textured stuff but they are not straight, you know that they are not straight. So let me think of an example. Okay, let's say you have this marker. This marker is actually not straight if you look at it. Kinda not straight. So there are a little bit of bumps here and there. But if you are sure that it is definitely not a straight line, then go ahead and do the bottom one. But for basic shapes, usually just keep it to integer steps, it should be fine. And for curves, it's a very simple rule. If you want to do a smooth curve, make sure that the next step is never more than 1 integer than the one before it. Or if you are making a bigger or flatter curve, like a flatter curve, let's say this, I'll call this a thin curve, and I'll call this a flat curve. Let's say I want to draw that on my screen. So let me just open a new canvas real quick. So I'm going to draw a flat curve. Okay, it looks okay because it's too big. Never mind. C4, Y C4. Okay, flat curve. It looks kind of like S, I'll be honest. So if you want to draw a flat curve, the basic rule is, okay, where is it? You want it to follow some sort of pattern So you can go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, or you can go 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, or integer multiplication. Those are usually nice patterns to have for your smoother curves. Okay, so let's just take a look. Whether if you guys want, you can go and try it on your own. You don't have to like stare at me when I'm explaining. You can go and play if you see something interesting. Don't worry. Yeah. So we can experiment a little bit here. So let's say 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 1. 1, 2, 1. So this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 8 curve. It's a bit flat, but if you do just your regular 1, 2, 3, it will look like 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then you make it symmetrical, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So if you are trying to capture flat curves, you can go ahead and use a bigger sort of integer scales. So it doesn't have to be 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. All that matters is as long as the pattern is consistent, it will look okay on your flat curves. So here. Okay. Does everyone understand? Everyone get it? Okay. Okay. Then secondly, for curves, because pixel art is square, unfortunately, because it is square, when you want to turn a corner, sometimes you will get something like this. So let's say I want to go left and right. There will be a sharp edge, no matter how I draw it. A sharp edge will exist, no matter how curvy I try to make it. So you see stuff like this here. So the corners, there'll be a corner here, there'll be a corner here, there'll be a corner here. So for pixel art curves, what we like to, this is what we call jaggies. So jaggies are these little corners at every single step. What we like to do is we delete the corners. We just delete the corners. So for example, here, you see all the jaggies here, all the corners. I'll highlight the corners in red. Here, one corner here, one corner here. What we do is we just delete the corner like this. Oops. And it looks a bit smoother already. So if you guys are using Sprite, they already do this for you by having this Pixel Perfect option up there. So if you enable Pixel Perfect, you can see the lines I draw here. You can see that there are no jaggies whatsoever. All of the corners are deleted for you. So this is what we call Pixel Perfect mode. But usually I don't use it because I kind of find it a bit annoying to draw silhouettes. So just take note, if you are planning to draw curves, first, if you want it to be a nice curve, make it consistent pattern. Any type of scaling integer, make sure they don't have odd, weird up and down patterns. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, or 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, or whatever, times 2, times 3, times 1, it doesn't matter. As long as it's a nice consistent scale, it will look nice. And secondly, for jaggies, just delete the corners. So don't leave these little corners on your curve or it will look a bit weird. Here. So if you want to fix it, let's say I want to fix this curve, what I would do is I'll probably just delete all the corners. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's not perfectly scaled, so it doesn't look like a curve, but here. So it kind of looks a bit smoother already. So that is for really, really small pixel art. But to help you practice, just for today, okay, who here has not downloaded a pixel art sort of editor yet? Okay, everyone has one? Okay. In your respective pixel art editors, what I want you guys to do is open up. Okay, let's start with 32 by 32 first. So just delete 32 by 32. 32 by 32. So 32 by 32 by default should look like 4 squares. So one square is about 16 pixels. So what I want you guys to do to practice practice smooth curves, first I want you guys to draw me a fishbowl. So just try, you can take a reference from Google, draw me a fishbowl, any bowl shape. Then if you have any issues, let me know. I'll help you to see if I can help you improve it. MS Paint works.
No, no. Where is my layer though? Guys, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat by using my horizontal symmetrical thing because I'm a bit lazy, you know. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 6. Actually, don't know what Fishbowl looks like. Happy. My fish is dead. What is that? okay. I was just letting you know you have to go through. It's like I know what to look out for when you're looking for game. Hey, hey, lovely. Okay, so there are some very cool things I'm seeing. I'm seeing fishbowl in a fishbowl. I'm seeing a squid in a fishbowl. Uh, I'm seeing some really high level art over there, lah. But okay, so if you guys are not shy, feel free to post it on the group channel. There's like a pixel art channel on Discord and Telegram. If you're not shy, go ahead and post. It's good to have some discussion here and there. Yeah. Yeah, you can just post regular art. If you want a regular art channel, I can just make one. Yeah. So, okay. So that's about smooth and straight lines. Sorry, guys. Sorry, can you? Thank you. Okay. So that was a little bit about smooth and straight lines. So just remember, if you want a straight line, keep all of the steps consistent. If you want something that looks smoother, remove all of the corners and keep a consistent scale factor at each step. Right. So if you want something flatter, just increase the scale factor. If you want something sharper, just do like 1, 2, 3, then that's fine. Okay. Okay. Then next is something we call depiction in pixel art or readability. So as you can see, the things on the grid on the left and the grid on the right are the same thing, just scaled up by some integer number. So for pixel art, like I said, we are drawing very small and then we're gonna display it on a big screen. So for a lot of pixel art, especially for game icons, your items, your background, miscellaneous in environmental sprites, a lot of them are actually really small. They are probably 16 pixels at most. So let's say you're making an RPG, you want to draw a potion. I don't think you will have a high resolution potion. Very unlikely you will spend time doing that. So for depiction and readability, the main point is if I only give you 2 colors, so let's say I only give you black and white, how well can you draw the silhouette to make it recognizable as an item given a limited canvas size? So you want to make it readable even though it's really small and you have no colors at all. Because it really doesn't matter how many colors I use. If 2 colors is not enough to portray what I want the item to be, the colors will just make it more confusing. So for depiction, we're going to be practicing only using 2 colors. I recommend black and white or black and one light color. So we're basically going to draw silhouettes. You can shade it in if you want using the black, or you can dither. It really doesn't matter as long as you limit each item to 16 by 16. So I want all of the items to be 16 by 16. So for example, can anyone guess any of the items on the screen here in any order? Like let's say top left, potion, top center, backpack, top right, a stick, a sword, a knife. Yeah, so it gets ambiguous maybe. Okay, middle left, bow and arrow, middle, bicycle, right, middle, chessboard. Okay, thank you. Chessboard. So the pixels intentional. There are 8 grids on purpose. Okay, bottom right, bottom left, gun, middle bottom, battery, and last one, music note. Okay, very good. So as you can see, I only use 1 color or 2 colors at max for negative space, and I use less than 16 by 16 pixels to illustrate it. So it's really small. It's really very fine grained. But when you scale it up, it doesn't look that bad still. So we're going to be practicing a bit of depiction here. So just remember 16 by 16 canvas size. You can make it bigger and then draw like this layout as well. It really doesn't matter. And what I want you guys to do is to make your own. Define 9 items and make it as challenging as possible. What I want you guys to draw something so controversial that we all cannot guess what it is. So go and challenge yourself. Figure out 9 items to draw 16 by 16 and then share it with the person next to you, and then we'll see what we can do there. So just remember 2 colors. Then you can continue on now. Yeah, each item 16 by 16. Yeah, okay, so I'll just leave this as an example. I'm here. Nice to meet you guys. I'm Cliff. I'm your workshop head for Pixel Art. It's mining Bitcoin right now, don't worry. Yeah, it happens all the time.
I see. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you running?
I'm showing them Pixel Art.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you doing it on web or do you
This
like
is
install?
Sprite. This is a program.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you used Bistro.
Yeah, okay, I can just show you here actually, if you don't mind. You guys just keep your lesson. Hell yeah, kind of. You love lessons. Okay, so welcome. You can call me Cliff. I'm the current president and your workshop head. So welcome to this is some stuff I do. I don't do game sprites professionally. I just kind of draw for fun and to learn the processes of art, so I can work with artists a bit better. Yeah. So yeah, Dithering, your style, my two favorite characters. Yeah. Okay. So
Those grass. I'm just kidding.
is that Pokemon? Is that Palworld?
Okay.
Yeah, so pixel art, famously known for being super small. So just to prove my point, my canvas here. Why is my button not working? Okay, damn it. Is it the wrong? No. Okay, so my canvas, all of my slides are in 320 by 180 pixels. So just to prove that you can draw really small and still make it look good. And lastly is because nowadays all of our computers, our phones are 16 by 9 aspect ratio. So actually, as long as the ratio of your base art is about the same, as if you multiply it by some number, it will look fine. So I was showing them Celeste. Celeste is 320, 380 by 380 by 120, 320 by 180, and then you can still play it like a normal resolution. So usually you just pick something small. Most pixel art nowadays is base 320 by 180. So if you want to make a game, you can start thinking about that resolution. Yeah, so something like this. So 320 by 180, and you can see how your characters fit in that screen. So Celeste famously about that small. Screenshot here. So 320, 180 characters about 16 pixel high, like this. Yeah. So I guess interesting game art or just art.
Game art.
Hell yeah. Okay, so it's important for you to understand, not understand, but get an intuition for what scale is. So in pixel art, the most difficult thing is understanding what is the biggest you can go, what is the smallest you can go, right? So if you want to make a game like a platformer, like Celeste, like people won't care about the facial expression of the character. Then you can go as small as 16 by 16 because you can fit the body, the legs, the hands, that's all. But if you want to have expressive characters, like maybe you want to make a cutscene or a dialogue box, an icon, usually we go by 64 by 64 because your eyes, unfortunately, in pixel art takes a lot of space. So as you can see the details between 32 and 64,
Yeah.
with 32 I can barely fit any facial expression. Yeah, so if you're looking to make a game with expressive characters, you might want to go with 64 by 64 so they can see the eyes. Otherwise, if you just need like very simple eyes like that, then 32 by 32 usually is better. Yeah, so just this is something I drew just to show a little bit better for your scale. Not impossible to do 32 by 32, but it's very limited for expression. Yeah, so usually 64 by 64 you can do a full model, and I wouldn't go above 96 because you can see I have a lot of empty space to make it proportional. So this is human proportions, torso about 60%, head there. Yeah, so it's tough to go above 96. But you will see a lot of pixel artists do go above 96. It's a stylistic choice. So it's really up to you. For games, a lot of sprites go above, but I usually wouldn't go. This is my process. But just to let you know, this is what about 96 will look like. So if you want to draw anything higher than that, you can imagine the amount of detail you need to add before it starts being a bit meaningless for your pixels. Yeah, so just comparison. This is something we'll discuss next week, and just like a prelude to next week, we'll look at pixel art in relative to game design. So if you're making like a platformer, you'll see that the characters are usually about only 10% of your screen. Like your height is 180, your character here is 16 pixels. So for platformers, it's important, your consideration is you want the player to be able to solve the level just by looking at it. So if your character covers up too much of the screen, you cannot see the level. So a lot of platformers you can go and research. their pixel art characters are usually less than 10% of the screen. So if your screen is about 180 wide, the character is like 16 pixels, 12 pixels. So that is something to consider. And second consideration is to make it more intuitive for the player. So each tile is 8 pixels. Your character is some integer scale of that tile. Because when you make a move, when you make the character move any input, you want the player to be able to roughly tell how much I am moving per input. So let's say in Celeste I press jump, I will jump 2 pixels tall. So every time I want to practice the level in my mind, I know, okay, I press this button, I can probably jump over that wall. So it's scaled to your tile size so that you can let the player know intuitively how much they can move, and then scale to the screen depending on your genre and how much the level matters to you. So if you think about games like Street Fighter or Smash Bros or whatever, their character sizes are huge because you care more about reading the enemy animation than the level. So Street Fighter famously, 45% of the screen is the character. Yeah. So depends on the game genre. We will talk about it next week, but just like a prelude to think about. And in pixel art, since everything is a square, unfortunately, drawing curves is a bit difficult because it will look jagged no matter what. But we can still do some things to make it look smooth. So, where did my mouse go? What? Because I just disappeared. Okay, so for straight lines, very simple. So if you're drawing any straight line, just keep it a constant step. So 1 step, 2 step. If you're sure that your thing, so maybe let's say this table has like a dent, then feel free to break the norm. But if you are drawing something that's perfectly straight, make sure it's a constant step. Don't do like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or like these weird steps here and there. Okay. Otherwise, because this will look like it's textured. Like maybe if you're drawing rough wood, then that would make sense. Right? So we're talking about perfect straight lines. Then for curves, a general rule is you keep what we call a scale. So if you want to draw a curve, you can do 1, 2, 3, like a scale plus 1 scale. If you want to draw a really flat curve, you can go even times 4 scales, so 1, 4, 16, or 1, 2, 4, or whatever. So that one you have to go and try out. So just now I got them to try it out by drawing a bowl, like a fishbowl, to see if they can draw like a. So you see a lot of fishbowls here, so you can practice drawing a curve. And then for the last curve is jaggies. So in pixel art, unlike digital art, when you draw 2 lines close to each other, they tend to intersect, and then it has like this weird corner, right? So you want to remove these corners so they look a bit smoother.
Okay.
So if you are using a program with a pixel perfect brush, you can see when you turn it on, it removes all of the corners, so it looks a bit smoother.
Okay.
So that's what we call jaggies. So we don't want the corners. If you want to make it smooth, then delete all the corners. But if you know that it's a right angle, just leave it there. Like, why don't need to make it look smooth? Because it's a right angle, right? So you can practice by drawing like a fishbowl later if you want. Then now I'm talking about depiction. So in pixel art, this is a concept called readability. So like I said, a lot of games, they don't draw 1920 by 1080 resolution. Like, why would you do that? Waste of time. Just draw digital art. Alright, so in pixel art, if you start with like base 320 180, let's say you want to draw about an item that only covers 10% of the screen. That's 16 pixels. That's already. Then at most you can only draw 10 items in one screen. So we need to practice how to draw really small items so that when they scale up, they still look good. So we will start drawing really small items. So what they're doing now is they're drawing 16 by 16 pixel items, and then we're trying to get each other to guess what they're drawing. So this is readability, and the restriction is canvas size, so 16:16, and you only get 2 colors, so only black, white, only black and white. So black and some other light color, so like a silhouette. Yeah, so that's where we're at now. So everyone's just drawing their 16 by 16 pictures now. Yeah. So yeah, feel free to go and practice. If you want, you can ask me stuff later. Okay. Yeah, I can come and take a look. You can ask him too. He's good at drawing squids. It's a really good squid, actually. Yeah, enjoy. Pond, ear, house or church?
Yes.
And then the ghost, actually.
It's supposed to be a
The
skeleton.
vampire
I'm not sure how to draw a skeleton.
And feel free to Google references. Art is all about references. Yeah, I mean for skeleton, you can think of it like a mushroom. And it's way closer to a mushroom than this looks like bread, I guess.
Yeah.
So because it will curve inwards at your cheeks.
Yeah.
So a little bit closer to a 90 degree, but like a soft 90 degree.
Yeah.
So you can try that.
Right.
I'm gonna find the most difficult one. I'm trying to see who is the most difficult. It's the first one in Among Us.
No. Show Minecraft items.
Okay.
Do you know this?
Minecraft. Okay. Is it a new item? Because I haven't
No.
played since like version 10 or something.
You confirm no. If you can't tell, it's
Does Minecraft have avocados now?
no.
I know that one is redstone or some powder.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That's Eye of Ender.
Diamond, yeah.
Oh, you're right. Oh, but it's missing the square, you know. Like usually it like closes off. It's like hexagon. The two pointy things. Yeah. It's like the depth. Like
Yes.
yeah. Oh, very good. But it doesn't look curved. You know, you gotta practice your skill factors. For Jaggies also. It looks like Pokemon Pogo Pass.
No, it's not Pokemon.
It looks like the nose pass Pokemon, you know, the big nose.
It looks like it, yeah, it really looks like it.
Is
They're
this?
close though, in a way.
It's not a Pokemon.
It's
Is
not
it?
a Pokemon.
Is it like a stone statue?
It's not a statue.
What?
It is,
Okay, you gotta send me later. We'll have everyone guess. I love it. I love all the controversial ones. Like, what's this? Mountain range. Sandwiches.
maybe what kind of guess yourself?
What's that genre?
I have no idea. Genre is living beings.
Living being. Duck. Goose. It looks like a goose nose. You know. Chicken. Platypus.
That's not that.
Dolphin.
Okay,
Yeah,
this,
it looks like the nose Pokemon.
Yeah.
yeah, this nose pass. It's not nose pass.
Okay, it looks like a bird, some sort of bird.
Is it the beak? Is it beak?
Oh, okay, the rightmost side is not face. This is the face.
It looks like a bird side view.
Yeah.
But what bird?
I'm trying to think of what's the best way to colorate this.
I'll leave it to you. Umbrella eyeball. Okay. I think your umbrella's a bit too. It closes a bit too much. It looks like a. Looks kind of like a kebab, you know, like the pork belly on the stick. Because the umbrella's usually flatter on the bottom, I would say. Yeah. So in small canvas sizes, you will have to sacrifice some details. Like, you know, umbrella, I know for you, got the little curves at the bottom, but sometimes you can't portray that at all. But I think it looks fun just now, don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah, that looks fine. I think that looks fine. Yeah. Nice. With it, it's a lol. Oh, that's nice. I'm drawing a cat. Oh shit, sorry. They have the same face shape, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
You can bucket forward.
Yeah. Very good. Awesome.
I kind of just came back, so I kind of haven't done
Oh,
it.
don't worry, don't worry.
Yeah, I just made like this, so that doesn't matter.
It's a heart.
Yeah.
Or it could be a mouse. Like the shape of a mouse. The animal. Oh, I know, Beaker.
What?
Minecraft Steve.
Are you drawing like 16 different frames, layers? Why not draw one big picture, you know?
Because I made the canvas too small.
Oh, you can change it? Why what?
Actually, I can change it.
Yeah, I think you can change it.
How do I change it again?
I don't know, man.
Oh, on it.
Yippee! Hey.
Oh my god, this is very good.
Okay, I'm trying to find the most controversial one. Anyone have a difficult one?
I saw someone drawing the
Mushroom.
No, it's actually a bird.
A bird?
A bird.
Side view?
I don't know what that is.
It's like looking from the side.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's actually like the bird from Odyssey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I get you. Okay, we can ask it. Very good. Perfect. How is it? Ooh, okay. Cat. First aid kit. Like some sort of scroll, maybe? Yeah. Sunglasses. Some bottles of water. Yeah. A drawer. A watch. Ooh, what's that? I would say it looks like a pacifier, but you know, like the bomb version, the adult pacifier. I assume that's an ocarina or pellet. Oh, okay, yeah. Can ask other people what to do.
Do you post your style art online somewhere?
Oh, do you see?
I feel like
I have maybe my friend reposted it. I have an Instagram. Yeah, maybe you've seen it. Yeah. It's called Chuck Really Bad Artist. Me? I always post on the Discord. Cause I mean I gotta keep the Discord alive, you know. That's the problem with 10-year-old club. There's too many people, but everyone's like not there. It's a ghost server, sorry. But you can post your art there, so.
I was tempted to post the art, then I was like, there's nobody online.
It's school life, you know. But if you post, I will post. No, I will counter post you.
Okay, that's why I screwed down.
Yeah.
Oh, waiting for the first person to post.
Actually, because I do this thing called low spec dailies. So there's a website called Low Spec, so it does low spec art, so fix the art. Yeah, then they have a daily challenge every day, and you can draw. Yeah, I do it. I can show. There's a whole Discord for it. It's really fun. There's a channel called Low Spec.
Oh, that is not low spec. That's not low spec. How low spec is low spec?
You can go as low as you want, but you know people are just having fun. So a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Someone's doing like 3D, 2D, like no idea. So it's really cool. You can go and search it up. I post there sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's like free idea.
Cool. Enjoy.
But then it looks like it's burnt.
Walkie-talkie. Some sort of flower, like a fire flower. Headphones and a charger plug.
Yeah.
Name tag.
No, I actually want it to be a stick of dynamite. I don't know how to make it look more like a stick of dynamite.
I think
because you simplify so much. It just
the stick needs to be a bit longer for sure. Because the fuse can't be that long. Dynamite. Famously, dynamite, not a very long fuse for most dynamite. Or you can have more dynamite sticks. Dynamite has a very unique shape that is usually bundles of 3 for some reason. So, I think a longer stick would be good. I think the fuse looks nice.
like another one that some kind of safe.
Snake. Snake pup. Oh. We love MS Paint, bro. Oh, that's good.
I don't have any pixel editor because I didn't read Discord.
Yeah, you on our Telegram? I also post both. I post on both.
Yeah, but I didn't see it. I didn't see that part.
Okay, never mind. That looks great. That's a nice. Yeah. What's that?
The name is a spoiler.
I'm trying to find the most difficult one to guess. I have a Roomba right now.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on because I don't want us to run out of time. But if you guys are not shy about your work, feel free to post on the Discord. So if you guys are on the Discord, you can post on Discord. If you guys are in the Telegram chat, you can post on the Telegram chat. You can get other people to guess for you. So for our workshops on Discord, I'll be using this channel in particular. But for okay, let's see. For Telegram, if you guys are not in the Telegram or not on Discord, please choose one because this is where I'll be posting most of the announcements for us. So GDG design, it has like this Dithering pixel art picture icon. So feel free to post it in pixel art, or if you want, I can make a separate channel for you. So if you need the link, you can ask me later. But sometimes I post some of my stuff here also. So this was from last semester when we did pixel art. We do like a cat and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys don't have the link, you can ask me. I'll send it to you later. But it's in our announcement chat as well. So if you type NUSGDG on Discord, you'll see this announcement chat, and then it's here. It's like the second last announcement. So join either Discord, Telegram. That's why I'll be communicating with you guys, and feel free to share any of your art. A lot of controversial stuff. I saw some weird ones. If you guys want, you can start guessing later once you send it after the thing ends. But I'll continue on first so we don't run out of time. Okay. So you guys learn about drawing curves. You guys learn about drawing really small items, silhouettes. A little bit of understanding why you have to sacrifice certain details when you draw really small. So I saw some of you try to draw characters in 16 by 16 and you guys realize it's impossible because you cannot leave any space for the eyes at all. So it's just something you have to practice, something you have to get used to. Okay, last few slides is more about color and shading. So pixel art, well known for having a very limited color palette. So unlike digital games, you won't have very nice gradients most of the time. If you think about old Game Boy, they only have like at most 4 colors. There are 2-bit games. So when you have only 4 colors, it gets really tough when you want to make it look like you are shading a specific gradient. So what we can do if you are forced to use a limited palette is something called dithering. So dithering is when you just make patterns so that the volume at a certain grid looks smaller than it is. So let me just show an example here. So as you can see for dithering here, mixing 2 colors, all you're doing is giving 2 colors the same, let's say you split an area into 3 equal sections. The middle section that you are trying to mix, you are basically just sharing pixels between the 2 by distributing evenly. So usually that results in this sort of checker pattern for simple gradients. But if you go even deeper, for very advanced dithering, you can see you are basically really slowly reducing the level of volume each pixel or each row has, and they kind of show you the patterns here. So if you guys need a reference for dithering, feel free. I sent this book in the announcement channels as well, but it's a really good book. Go and read it if you have time. It's really good. So dithering is really just a lot of patterns. It's just usually crosses, outlines of a square or diamonds. So if you follow this pattern to dither, you will usually get a pretty smooth gradient, but the recommendation is if you are not limited to 4 colors or less, please just use normal colors and just pick in between and shade smoothly. So don't do dithering. Only use it if it's a stylistic choice or if you really are limited to less than 4 colors. Otherwise, it tends to get really ugly. For dithering, I'm not sure if you noticed, but the background of my slides have been dithered as well. So maybe it's a bit hard to see from the screen, but I did dither 2 different colors here. So another tip for dithering is we try to avoid dithering colors with very high contrast. So you don't try to mix red and green together, which are opposite colors. If you want, mix 2 very similar colors. So I have dark blue and less dark blue, and then you kind of get this nice gradient, which you won't notice from far away. From far away. From far away, you probably can't tell that I'm only using 2 colors to make a gradient in the background. Other examples of dithering is if you want to make a very striking background, because patterns are nice to look at. That's just kind of human nature. We love patterns. So a lot of
artworks, they will have ditted backgrounds, which are very high contrast, just so that it's easier to see what's on the screen. So these are some things I drew. I drew like a medal, and I used yellow again, just to show you, even though the background is yellow, by using dithering with high contrasting colors, it still kind of makes my item pop out. So that's something you can do if you want to use dithering, but we won't be practicing that today because it takes a lot of time. I can show you some tips on how to dither, but for Sprite specifically, you can make custom brushes. So I can show you. I kind of have a pattern. I have custom brushes for all of the dithering patterns, and I just kind of use that to speed up my shading. But I won't be going through that today. Yeah. So that's just for you to know. We won't be practicing it because it's very stylistic, and a lot of the times people will use it a bit too much. More importantly, we'll be doing conventional shading. So for pixel art, unlike digital art, like I said, you only have limited colors. It's difficult to get gradients. So a replacement sort of substitute method for shading between two colors is something we call anti-aliasing. So I'm not sure if you can tell the difference between 2 and 3, but if I zoom in, you can see I have certain colors at the corners of both of the borders. So if I zoom out a little bit, the one on the second one looks a bit more crispier, if I have a better word for it. It looks like very obvious circles overlaid on top of each other. But the third one, at least it looks like there's a gradient going out. So anti-aliasing is this practice where you are adding an intermediate color. So at first you have two colors, you add a color in between here, and you only shade the corners. So you're basically doing jaggies on purpose. So anti-aliasing is doing jaggies on purpose so that it looks smoother, which is a very cool technique, but like I said, it takes a lot of time. I wanted to practice. I'm sure we still have time to practice. If you guys want to continue working on your 16x16 grid, go ahead. But if you want, you can practice shading. What I want you guys to do is to draw, basically try to shade a sphere. But it's difficult to guess where light, if you've never drawn before, it's difficult to imagine what point light looks like on a sphere. So if you want, I have a website here that is basically a shading reference if you are interested. It's interactive as well. You can come here and use and take a screenshot or whatever. So you can actually spin the thing to see what light looks like when you point it on a sphere. And I hope this will give you some sort of sense on how to shape 3D objects in a 2D plane. It's not easy, it's something you just have to practice, unfortunately. But the reason why I am introducing the sphere shape is because point light is the most common source of light in games. So a lot of your shading will most likely be in point light if you are planning to make GameSprite. So for example, trees. I have slides here. Not here. Here. Does anyone know what tree this game is? What game this tree is from? Sorry? What? Stardew Valley? No, but it's the correct stuff. Pokemon, thank you. So these are trees from Pokemon, and you can see that actually in Pokemon, the trees are actually just spheres, and then they just shape it afterwards. And the main point is that trees are good practice because since most of the trees are spherical, when you look at a top-down perspective, it's good practice if you understand how light hits a sphere, you can basically shade a tree. So it's actually just layered. Trees are layered, and if you can understand how a sphere looks like when light hits like a certain perspective, you can shade a tree. So that's why I wanted to introduce shading a sphere today. But I don't think we have time to draw a full tree, but I'll just go through my process first. Yeah, so usually shade, you can pick any color. A lot of artists use the middle color, but sometimes I tend to use the darker colors first because I like to layer my shading, but I'll show it later. So shape and shade are two processes for me that I will always go back in between, back and forth. So it's not like you do shape and then you shade and then you just continue to anti-aliasing. Sometimes art is not like you can one-shot it, you know, you have to go back and refine your shapes. So for example, this was me when I was trying to make the tree for, trying to copy the Pokemon tree on my own lah. So I just made like a rough shape, chose a color, and for the tree bark, just like a tip, tree barks tend to be difficult to draw if you don't know what they are, but if you understand scientifically, anatomically, tree barks are just a bunch of tubes. So I drew like a tube guideline for me to be able to shape out the tree better. But that's a bit more advanced, is not the main point today. The second point is for the shape stage. Don't be afraid to use more than one color. Sometimes it's easier to see the shape if you are able to
give outlines or to shade darker areas. So don't worry about mixing shape and shade. Those two are really interchangeable steps. So for example, this is my first, when I was trying to draw this was the initial sketch I had. Then I went on to shade by just adding more colors. First I drew the indication of where the light will be from. Then if I have a difficulty imagining what it will look like, I just go to this website. I go in spin or whatever, find the perfect angle. Like this. Then I just copy. Perfect. Because shading is physical, imitates physical reality. There's no shame in just copying whatever happens in real life. So shading is usually just about adding more colors, find the perfect colors for you to express what your image is about. And then you realize I go back to shape because I want the tree to look a bit more textured. So one trick that I found when I'm drawing trees is that if you think about it, all the trees, if for one tree, they all have the same leaf, right? There's no way the tree has more than 2 different shapes of leaf. Usually if it's like a sharp leaf or a round leaf or whatever. So what you can do to make a tree look more like a tree or a bush look more like a bush is you find what shape you want the leaf to be. So those are some examples of leaves I have. And what you do is you literally just draw the leaves over the tree again and again. And to make it easier, I'm just going to show you a shortcut on Sprite, which is here. So in Sprite, what you can do is you can make custom brushes, which is useful for dithering and for patterns. You can select like this. You can do magic select. Hold on. Let me delete this. Okay, that one. Let me get the tree shape. I do this. If you press Ctrl B on Sprite, you get this. You get a custom brush, and you can start using it for leaves. And this is very useful for dithering. But just to show you the life hack of drawing a tree, all you do is you just shade the tree using the leaf, and it's honestly ridiculous how nice it looks. So you can just pattern it like that, and it looks a lot better than just a sphere. So that's kind of what I've been doing when I draw trees in pixel art. It's a really big of a cheat, but that's something you can try home at your own time at home. I don't think we have time to do that today, because I wanted to repopulate Maju Forest, but whatever, I have no time. Unfortunately, that is the case. So what I want you to do, if you are interested in shading a little bit, try practice shading on a sphere. You don't have to use the exact same light angle. Go and challenge yourself. The reference website is literally just called shadingreference.com if you want to give it a try. Yeah. So try to shade point light on a sphere, and if you can, try to practice anti-aliasing. If you have any troubles with anti-aliasing, let me know. The main point is that anti-aliasing is only an optional step. It's not necessary. Actually, for step 2, for most arts, it already looks okay. Anti-aliasing is really if you just want to smooth it out. So just remember anti-aliasing. We talked about jaggies just now, removing the corners. Anti-aliasing is purposely adding the jaggies back but using an intermediate color, just so that you can have a smoother gradient. So that's something you can try. And outline is totally optional. That's something stylistic. I'm just putting it there to let you see what it looks like with an outline. But if you want, you can practice shading. If not, you can continue your 16 by 16 grid. Yeah. Then if you have any questions, let me know. I'll just walk around. And here are some tree references if you're interested in isometric trees in games. Very nice point lights, all at the bottom, at the top. Yeah. Yeah, so carry on. If you guys need the shading reference, feel free to just use my laptop.
I am ending the recording now. Thank you for coming.